You toss a clear water bottle into the blue bin. You feel responsible. But that plastic bottle has a dark secret. That specific bottle has a 95% chance of ending up in a landfill, an incinerator, or floating in the ocean. The recycling symbol stamped on the bottom is not a promise to you. It is simply marketing, and you have been sold. For decades, we have been told recycling is the answer. Rinse, sort, and repeat to save the planet for our children. It sounds simple and hopeful, but this narrative is mostly a comfortable lie designed to keep us consuming without feeling any guilt. Here is the economic reality. Recycling plastic costs significantly more than making new plastic. Virgin plastic made from oil is incredibly cheap. Recycled plastic is expensive because you are paying for the intense labor of collecting, sorting, cleaning, and fixing a broken system. Corporations exist to make profit. Given the choice between cheap fresh plastic and expensive recycled material, they choose the cheap option. Coca-Cola produces 3 million tons of plastic every single year, yet only a tiny fraction of that is ever actually recycled. 3 million tons, that is an unimaginable amount of waste created by just one company, flooding our global ecosystems every year. When China stopped accepting our trash, we did not stop making it. We just found new, poorer places to hide it. We ship our guilt in shipping containers to countries like Malaysia and Mexico, where environmental regulations are loose and easily ignored. Why do we keep participating in this charade? Because it feels good. Psychologists call this phenomenon moral licensing in our brains. One small green act, like rinsing a cup, gives us the emotional permission to keep consuming massive amounts without feeling guilty. The industry designed this system. In the 80s, they slapped that symbol on everything, even items they knew could never be recycled. It was never about saving the planet. It was a strategic move to ensure they could keep selling more and more plastic. If this reality makes you angry, hit subscribe. We are exposing the hidden costs of everything you buy, use, and throw away. Let us follow the bottle. In the absolute best-case scenario, there is only a 5% chance it becomes a bottle again. More likely, it is downcycled into carpet or a jacket. This is a one-way trip to the landfill, not a circle. When you wash that recycled jacket, it sheds microplastics into the water system, eventually ending up in the food we eat. Or worse, the plastic is burned. Incineration releases toxic chemicals into the air, poisoning local communities to generate a tiny amount of energy. This situation is not hopeless. Ireland achieved a 91% return rate in just 1 year by giving plastic a real value. Norway has reached 97% recovery. They did not rely on politeness, they used policy. Deposit systems make recycling financially logical. We must stop making junk that cannot be fixed. Complex multi-layer packaging is impossible to recycle and should be banned immediately. We need to bring back refillable systems. The technology exists, the logistics exist, only the corporate will to change is missing. Individual action is a good start, but voting for systemic policy is the finish line. We cannot recycle our way out. Recycling is not the villain here. The lie is the villain. We have been distracted by blue bins for 40 years. It is time to look up from the bin. Everything has a price. The checkout counter was just the beginning of the cost.
Every piece of plastic ever made still exists in some form. It buries into the earth and flows through our blood. If we continue on this path, by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish by weight. We can no longer afford to be blind consumers. The hidden costs are becoming visible, and the debt is coming due. Change starts with awareness, but it ends with action. Demand better from brands. Demand better from governments. Demand a clean future. We have the power to turn off the tap. We do not need better recycling. We need less plastic to recycle. Remember the order: reduce first, reuse second. Recycle is the absolute last resort when all other better options have failed.
Every time you shop, you are voting. Choosing the plastic-free option sends a direct signal to the supply chain managers. Innovation is happening. Biomaterials and compostable alternatives are rising, but they need market support to scale up and replace the toxic incumbents. We are borrowing this planet from future generations. Leaving them a legacy of indestructible waste is a moral failure we must correct. Imagine a world where rivers flow freely without choking on bottles. That world is possible, but it requires courage to build. The truth is uncomfortable. It asks us to change our habits, but comfort has cost us the health of our world. The best recycled bottle is the one that was never created in the first place. That is the only true solution. Thank you for watching Hidden Costs. Subscribe to join us as we uncover the price tags the world wants to hide. While you sleep, engines are running, tires are wearing down, and fuel is burning to bring you a toothbrush you forgot. Even cardboard has limits. When mixed with grease or food, it becomes useless trash, contaminating the entire batch of recycling. Paper is not always the green savior. It requires trees, water, and energy to produce. The best package is no package. Fast fashion is another culprit. We buy clothes meant to be worn 3 times before falling apart or going out of style. These clothes end up in deserts in Chile or markets in Ghana, destroying local textile industries and polluting the environment. Synthetic fabrics are plastic. Every wash releases fibers. We are literally dressing ourselves in oil and washing it into the sea. Repair is a radical act. Mending your clothes instead of replacing them disrupts the cycle of disposable consumerism. Second-hand markets extend the life of goods. They value the history of an object rather than its freshness on a shelf. Food waste is a hidden cost of perfection. We throw away billions of tons of food simply because it looks slightly wrong. Farmers leave crops to rot because supermarkets demand uniform shapes. Nature does not grow in standard molds, but commerce demands it. Using every part of the food we buy respects the resources used to grow it. Zero-waste cooking is a delicious necessity. All these hidden costs add up to one thing: a warming planet. The price tag does not include the cost of climate change. We are paying for cheap goods with the stability of our climate. It is a loan with an interest rate we cannot afford. The transition to a circular economy is not just about recycling. It's about rethinking energy, materials, and value itself. Technology can help, but it is not a magic wand. We cannot consume our way to sustainability with different types of cars. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Walking and cycling are zero-emission solutions that have existed for centuries.
The culture of to-go creates mountains of waste from minutes of convenience. We need to slow down and stay a while. Drinking from a real cup, sitting in a real chair, it's a small act of rebellion against the disposable culture. The most powerful word you have as a consumer is no. No to the bag, no to the straw, no to the receipt. These small refusals send data points back to headquarters. If enough people say no, the company stops ordering the waste. Community action builds momentum. When we work together, we stop being isolated consumers and start being active citizens. Local politics is where the rubber meets the road. Bans on single-use plastics often start in small town halls. Education is the vaccine against ignorance. Teaching the next generation the truth about waste ensures they won't repeat our mistakes.
We live on a spaceship with finite resources. There is no resupply ship coming. We must manage what we have. Time is the one resource we cannot recycle. The window to prevent catastrophic damage is closing, but it is not shut yet. You have the information now. The veil has been lifted. The hidden costs are exposed. What will you do with this knowledge? Sharing the truth is the first step. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, break the silence around our waste. Do not be fooled by green logos and eco-friendly promises. Look at the supply chain, look at the materials, look deeper. Be a detective in your daily life. Scrutinize the claims, ask questions. Companies are terrified of an informed customer base. Vote with your wallet. Divest from funds that support fossil fuels and plastic production. Money talks louder than words. Nature is resilient. If we give it a chance, it can recover, but we must stop the assault first. The future does not have to be a wasteland. It can be cleaner, healthier, and more equitable than the present. We owe it to them to fix this mess, not because it is easy, but because it is the only right thing to do. It starts with the person in the mirror. One choice at a time, one day at a time, we build a new norm. Do not wait for a hero to save us. You are the hero of this story. Your actions matter more than you know. Let us rewind the tape. Let us make the different choice. Let us refuse the plastic and embrace the sustainable alternative. Together, we are a force of nature. Divided, we are just consumers. Choose to be part of the solution today. This has been an investigation into the hidden costs of recycling, but the story does not end here. It continues with you.